Ever felt like your emotions are pulling you under, while a quieter voice inside is begging you to hold the line? That moment in the stillness of night when your thoughts spin faster than the world outside. Fear screams, desire tempts, pain demands escape. But somewhere beneath the noise there's a steadier current, a place untouched by chaos. The Stoics didn't fear the storm inside, they faced it, because they knew the real battle isn't between you and the world. It's between the strongest part of you and the loudest, between reaction and reason, between the story your feelings want to tell and the truth your mind can choose. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This video will give you the tools to train that power. You'll learn how to stop letting emotions steer the ship and start choosing your own direction. We'll walk through 7 Stoic rules that sharpen your judgment, steady your heart, and help you become unshakable, even when your emotions try to take over. Welcome to Stoic Philosophy Daily, where your story matters. Share your experience or your biggest struggle below. Every comment is a gift. We read with care, answer with heart, and treat your journey as part of our own. This is more than a channel. It is a circle of strength. Now ask yourself, if you could master just one response today, how much calmer would your world become? 1. Discipline your mind before it betrays you. Your emotions will scream. They'll flood your chest with panic, whisper defeat in your ear, and twist your perception until truth feels like a lie. But in that noise, there's always a still place. A place where the mind waits not to react, but to choose. That's the place the Stoics lived in. The battlefield was never the world. It was always the mind. Most people never train for that battlefield. They decorate their lives but leave their thoughts exposed. They invest in the body, the home, the image, but forget the only thing they truly control, their judgment. So when fear rises or rejection hits, they don't fall because life is hard. They fall because their mind were soft. In today's world, distraction trains you. Social media teaches your nervous system to overreact. A scroll becomes a storm. One message turns into self-doubt. One glance at someone else's highlight reel and your sense of worth starts crumbling. We've trained our minds to chase validation rather than clarity, to serve mood rather than mission. But what if those feelings aren't facts? What if emotions are not maps but misfires from a tired brain, overloaded with noise? The Stoics warned, without training, your thoughts will betray you. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Don't wait until the chaos comes to start building discipline. You make it now, in the quiet, through repetition. You become a fortress by guarding your thoughts, by refusing to let mood dictate movement. The strongest people aren't the loudest. They're the ones who show up steady when praise is gone and no one's watching. I knew a man who lived by moods. One compliment and he soared. One insult and he collapsed. He looked strong, but inside, no foundation. And I knew another, quiet, overlooked, but his thoughts were trained. And when the storm hit, he didn't shatter. He stood. Strength isn't about appearances. It's about structure. Try this. For 1 week, treat your mind like a fortress. Each morning, review one belief you want to reinforce. Each night, catch one emotion that tried to hijack your day. Don't shame it, observe it. Ask, was that feeling true or just loud? Could I have responded with more clarity? This is how you train, not in theory, but in war, in real time. Seneca said, we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality. That's not just philosophy, that's a warning. Because if you don't choose your thoughts, someone or something else will. At Stoic Daily, we believe mental discipline is not a luxury. It's your defense system. Drop in the comments, "I lead my emotions, they don't lead me." What's one thought you'll guard more carefully this week? 2. Emotions can't steer a ship they didn't build. Picture a car with a broken GPS. One moment it tells you to turn left. The next one insists you go back. No logic, no destination, just noise. That's what emotions become when left ungoverned. If you hand your life's wheel to that glitchy system, don't be surprised when you end up lost, far from the life you were meant to build. But here's the thing most people miss. Emotions don't rise from nowhere. They're often echoes of past pain, unmet needs, unfinished stories. Fear isn't just fear. Sometimes it's the child in you remembering rejection. Anger might be the mask for helplessness. And when we don't train the mind to decode those signals, we misread them as commands. We've all been there, saying what we didn't mean in anger, ghosting opportunities because fear got louder than hope, walking away from something meaningful because discomfort dressed itself as danger. In those moments, emotion feels like truth. It's loud, urgent, but the aftermath is the real verdict. That sinking regret. That's your wiser self waking up late. The Stoics never told us to erase emotion. They taught us to master the interpreter, our judgment. Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Not the intensity of your highs or the weight of your lows. Thought leads, emotion follows, but only if you've trained the driver. The danger isn't in feeling, it's in surrendering. When your mind lacks structure, emotions hijack meaning. One ignored text becomes abandonment. One failed attempt becomes proof you're not enough. Tiny triggers awaken old stories, and before you know it, your present is being narrated by your past. That's why an untrained mind isn't just confused, it's enslaved. Try this. For the next 24 hours, act like your emotions are push notifications, not laws. When they pop up, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this an alert or an instruction? Am I reacting from tension or truth? The first answer is often defensive, but sit with it. The second answer, the quiet one, is usually clearer. And that clarity is how you start changing the outcome before it repeats. Seneca warned, "A man is as wretched as he thinks he is." Your thoughts shape your world far more than your feelings do. And if you train the mind, you slowly and consistently change the feeling from the root. At Stoic Daily, we believe your emotions deserve compassion but not control. Drop in the comments. I lead with reason, not reaction. What emotion are you learning to govern this season? 3. Train before the storm or be taken by it. Imagine standing in the middle of a battlefield, but this war isn't fought with weapons. It's fought in silence, in your head. The enemy? Your own emotions, triggered by stress, betrayal, and failure. And in that moment, when everything shakes, what determines whether you stand or fall is not your past wins, not your charm, not your degree. It's the discipline of your mind. Think of a tree in the middle of a storm. Its leaves thrash, its branches bend, but it doesn't fall. Why? Not because it looks strong on the surface, but because its roots go deep. That's your mindset, your training. When chaos hits, it's not your talents or your charm that hold you steady. It's the inner root system you built in silence. Because storms don't send invitations. The betrayal, the diagnosis, the loss, they hit fast. And if your mind isn't trained before they arrive, your emotions will take the wheel and crash everything you've built. The Stoics warned us. Epictetus wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom isn't doing what you feel. It's choosing how to respond when feelings want to hijack your mission. Now look deeper. Your mind isn't just reacting to what's happening now. It's replaying old blueprints, memories where panic worked, where escape gave relief. So when pressure hits, the body remembers, even if the logic doesn't. That's why discipline has to be trained repeatedly, like muscle memory. So when fear speaks, truth replies faster. Consider this. Next time you feel the storm rising, your jaw clenching, your chest tightening, don't sprint to fix or flee. Pause. Say nothing. Do nothing. Just notice. Ask yourself, what am I anchoring to right now? Emotion or truth? That one pause becomes your practice ground, and over time, that practice becomes power. From the wilderness to the boardroom, from betrayal to burnout, those who endure are not the loudest. They're the clearest because they trained their mind to be an anchor, not an echo. At Stoic Daily, we believe strength is not built in calm. It's revealed in crisis. Comment below, I train before the storm. What's one emotion you're preparing to master, not after the crash, but before the chaos? 4. Emotions are loud, but wisdom is steady. Picture someone burning down their entire house to chase out a rat. That's what it looks like when emotion is left unchecked. One moment of heat, one sting of hurt, and suddenly, years of trust, effort, or calling go up in smoke. You don't lose because you're weak. You lose because your emotions were allowed to lead where reason should have reigned. Think back. The times you lashed out and wished you could rewind. The apology you never got but let destroy your peace. That opportunity you walked away from, not because it wasn't meant for you, but because you didn't believe you were ready. Emotional decisions feel urgent, but they often cost the most. And the damage isn't just to a moment. It rewrites your path. Seneca warned, "A man is as wretched as he thinks he is." And Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You don't become free by doing what you feel. You become free by choosing who you are, even when your feelings scream otherwise. This is why a trained mind matters, because untrained emotions shift like sand. One day confident, next day crushed. One text ruins your whole week. One rejection defines your worth. When the mind isn't steady, every mood becomes a master, and your life gets steered by storm after storm. Try this. The next time something triggers you, an insult, a disappointment, a delay, don't immediately respond. Don't speak. Don't spiral. Ask yourself, if I were at peace, what would I do differently? That one question rewires your power back to reason. You're not weak for feeling. You're strong when you feel deeply, but choose wisely. That's where maturity lives, in the space between impulse and intention, between reaction and response. And here's what few realize. Emotional living is expensive. It costs relationships. It costs years. It costs peace. But discipline compounds. It protects what feelings would have wrecked. At Stoic Daily, we believe your emotions are passengers, not pilots. Let them speak, but never let them steer. Comment below, I lead with clarity. What's one decision you've made that taught you the price of emotional reaction? 5. Train until truth becomes your default. You want peace? Train your mind. You want focus, resilience, clarity? Then stop waiting for feelings to align and start building the rhythm that shapes who you become. Think of your thoughts like bricks. Each one you entertain lays a stone in the house you're going to live in. Keep stacking fear, and soon you're walled in by your own doubt. Stack truth, and suddenly you've built a fortress that no storm can breach. Seneca warned us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Epictetus said, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. These aren't just quotes, they're battle tactics. They knew the fight wasn't out there. It was in here, in the silence, in the patterns we rehearse when no one's watching. The Stoics trained their minds like warriors, and if you want the same strength, you must build daily practices that anchor you. Pause. Question every thought. Ask, is this fear or fact? Is this a wound speaking or truth? Speak back to your mind when it spirals. Challenge every voice that sounds like despair. Marcus Aurelius journaled through chaos. He didn't wait for peace, he practiced it. When Rome trembled, he wrote to remind himself who he was. That's not a weakness, that's mental conditioning. Try this. Before you go to bed, write down the 3 loudest thoughts in your head, then challenge them. Are they rooted in truth or just soaked in emotion? Invite clarity before sleep. Let your mind end the day aligned, not scattered. Because here's the truth, feelings will always fluctuate, but a trained mind doesn't chase mood. It holds position. It doesn't collapse when fear whispers. It steadies. That's how transformation begins. Not with some big moment, but with repeated decisions practiced daily until your mind learns. This is who I am now. At Stoic Daily, we believe your mind is both sword and shield. Forge it well and no storm can take you. Share in the comments. What's one thought you're ready to challenge starting tonight? 6. Train before the trigger. Some days, it only takes one word, one look, one notification, and suddenly you're no longer thinking, you're reacting. Your calm slips, your mind races, and you're pulled into a storm you didn't see coming. But here's the truth. Being triggered isn't proof of weakness. It's proof of unfinished healing, and that is not shameful. It's a signal, a place that still needs strength. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. What if you could change that estimate? What if your response didn't have to be panic, withdrawal, or attack, but pause, breathe, and choose? The Stoics trained for this exact moment. They practiced premeditatio malorum, mentally rehearsing setbacks so they wouldn't be thrown when they arrived. Try this. Think of one person, one tone, or one situation that always triggers you. For the next 3 days, visualize it happening. Then rehearse your response, not with words, but posture, with breath, with stillness. Ask, if this were a test of my discipline, what would strength look like? This isn't about denying your emotions. It's about preparing your mind to meet them with wisdom. When offense comes, and it will, you don't collapse. You don't lash out. You hold. You lead. You become the anchor in a room full of emotional drift. At Stoic Daily, we believe your strength isn't tested when things are calm. It's forged in the seconds after your peace is threatened. Drop "I respond, not react" in the comments. What's one trigger you'll prepare for this week? 7. Guard the gates of your mind. Your emotions are loud, but they are not your leader. That role belongs to you and the discipline you've built in silence. Life won't ask for permission before it tests you. It just throws the trigger, a glance, a delay, a careless word, and if you haven't trained for it, that's all it takes to hijack your peace. Here's the hidden pattern. Most emotional spirals don't start from what's said, but from what's already stored. That one comment hurts not because it's new, but because it echoes something unhealed, like stepping on a bruise you forgot you had. What seems sudden is really built on years of buried tension. The Stoics called this internal vulnerability, the mind leaving its gate unguarded. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That's not philosophy, that's survival. Because when emotion drives the wheel, The road always ends in regret, but when the mind holds steady, even sorrow can pass without collapse. Even anger can flare without destruction. The Stoics didn't run from feeling, they refused to obey it. Anger was allowed but not trusted. Fear was seen but not followed. Pain was felt but not surrendered to. That is the line between slavery and freedom, between reactivity and mastery. Think of the mind like a city during war. Every open gate is a risk. Every untrained reaction is an unlocked door. And every day you don't reinforce your inner walls, the enemy, doubt, fear, ego, learns your entry points. Try this. Guard your mind like a fortress. Each morning, set a single intention. I choose which thoughts stay, which feelings lead, which impulses get filtered. Then visualize one moment from yesterday, where emotion nearly won, and imagine what stillness would have looked like. Ask yourself, what emotion has ruled you this week, and what would change if your mind sat on the throne, not your moods? This isn't about becoming cold. It's about building warmth without burning. It's about replacing reactivity with reason and guilt with growth. At Stoic Daily, we believe the mind must be trained like a warrior, not to feel nothing, but to fall for nothing. Comment below, steady. Let that be your quiet commitment today. Anchor the mind, no matter the storm. You cannot control the wind, but you can master your sail. You can't silence every storm, but you can decide how you ride through it. Life doesn't wait for your readiness. It throws waves regardless. But a trained mind doesn't beg for calm. It becomes calm. Hardship isn't erased by stoicism. It's reshaped into strength, into presence, into steady movement, even when the ground feels unstable. You don't need to predict every storm. You only need to trust the foundation you've built within. That's what training is for, not to avoid the chaos, but to move through it unshaken. So as you step into whatever life brings next, carry this with you. Let your mind be the anchor when the waters rise. Let your reason be the lighthouse when shadows close in. And when the next wave hits, don't drift. Choose your direction, hold the helm, and stay your course. At Stoic Philosophy Daily, we believe storms reveal what routine hides. Train your mind daily, and no force outside can unmake your strength. Comment below, I am the anchor. Let this be your vow to stability.
If you're seeking more, discover the full path on my channel, Stoic Philosophy Daily.